Welcome to part 3 of the $5,000 Cartoon Network collection that I picked up here on the show. If you guys have not seen the first 2 parts, go check them out. We have been documenting it, seeing if we could beat the $5,000 paid with the overall value within the collection. And right now we're at this number, which is, I actually still don't know the number, but I think it's fantastic. We've already sold a bunch of items and it's been paying itself back. And despite all the red flags in my brain that are saying, oh, you should probably sell the rest of it because, you know, you've been eating ramen for 2 months. You've been eating ketchup and bread sandwiches for the rest of this whole year so far. I'm kidding. Kind of. I am going to be keeping an entire bin, so I've been saving this for the end. So everything in this final episode, I will be keeping. So we will add it to our total all value because even though, you know, it's not going to be sold, you know, responsible adults invest in stocks. And honestly, I don't know the other things really because, you know, I'm still working on the adult thing. But I invest in cardboard and old plastic. So I'm still gonna count it as value, you sucker. So we're gonna get into this. Every item I am keeping for my personal collection, and waboom, we are gonna get right into it. I cannot wait to share with you guys this stuff because this was my favorite stuff of everything that I shared with you guys. And I'll explain my reasons for keeping what I'm keeping as well. But as you can see from the background, if you know the channel, I am #1 a Nickelodeon collector, but I do have a huge Cartoon Network and a variety of other animated shows collection that I call my variety room. And I also have a Disney collection, but this is all going to be going to that. Cartoon Network still has a huge part of my heart, so there was some stuff I just couldn't let go of. So let's go ahead and get started with the first item up here. And this is a part of a set of amazing figures that were available only to Cartoon Network employees. And you can see from the back who it is right here. I actually hadn't seen the back of it. It's got this little Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy comic book on the back. And look at the cover here as well. It is the intro you see in the intro from the show, man. Could you like, and inside of here is a full figure set that is absolutely gorgeous, and my goodness do they look fantastic. This is childhood. I mean, come on. I mean, this was a freaking epic show. Like, let's Ryan play them a little clip of the Paw Patrol intro here for a second. It's gonna make sense. Watch. Paw Patrol will be there. See, it doesn't have the same ring to it. My childhood, our intro song sounded like you were summoning Satan from the depths of hell. Yeah. And they wonder why we're so messed up. And it's also signed, you can see in here, by Mandy. So this, along with the other ones we're going to be pulling out, were complete figure sets that were given out to the people that worked on the individual shows. So, for example, the class of 3000, they had this set that you guys can see on screen here. And that set recently has sold for $3,000 because that is one of the hardest ones to find. I actually found that one at the flea market in a video on this channel for $20. You see that? Investor. Ryan, please don't show them any of the stuff that I bought that is worth nothing, because it probably is more than that. But one of my dream collections is to be able to get all those sets, and I feel like we might have that accomplished by the end of this. So you guys will see some close-up shots here, but you have Grim in there with his scythe, you have Mandy, you have Billy, and then what I think is really cool also has the character Nurgle, who I think had a son also in the show.
Hey, I'm Junior, and I'm from the center of the earth.
But he was like the original Slender Man. Like before Slender Man was popular with the video game, like the internet and stuff like that, like, and people were committing murders like in his name, like that's not funny. Shut up, why are you laughing? Oh my god, you're terrible. Before that, he was the original Slender Man. But they also have the Grandmama King Irwin in here. Arwen? I can't remember his name exactly, but Irwin in here. He was one of the funniest characters. I'll never forget that Cartoon Network bumper where like he was like a disco dancer. Or no, he was pretending to be like the MC Hammer. If we can find it, we'll put it up on screen.
Hey now, up next, we've got the premiere of the Billy and Mandy short, Hate in an Elevator, on Cartoon Network, y'all.
This is absolutely brilliant though. And then on the back of the box, like I said, it has the little comic book. It has Billy saying, it says, Mandy saying, great, I'm trapped in a box with a couple idiots. And then Billy says, ooh, I'm all plasticky. Okay, so that was one of them. The next one up is the one I've wanted the most. Always wanted the most. And that is this one right here. Yes! The Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This is one of my favorite comfort cartoons in the entire world. On the box here, it's got a personal note from Mr. Harriman. It says, ahem, and then it has his note. Welcome to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friend. Our welcome committee, Beauregard, Coco, Eduardo, and Will be happy to accompany you as you explore our house of different rooms. And you have all the other characters running around. You even have a little photo of Madame Foster there, who I thought she was dead in the first episode. Let's be real. Like, they just kept showing her, referring to her, and then she finally walks down the steps, and you're like, oh, she's alive. And we open it up and you get some of the only figures, like only good profile figures of these characters. Mac has, I don't think, any. Blue has a couple figures. Wilt, Coco, and Eduardo are only in like Wendy's toys. So these are their only like actual one-to-one profile forms of their characters. And it uses the window style that they did in the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends intro. It also has breakdowns here for Mac, Eduardo, Wilt, and Coco. And you will notice it says ages 3 and up. So I guess like if in some situation you ended up like giving this to a child, but you'll notice there's no barcode here because I think it was also available in the Cartoon Network employee shop. So just in case you bought them, likely, you know, possibly for your son or daughter or imaginary friend. And this one is also signed by Frankie. So in my mind, the reason why I kept these box sets is that they are just the perfect item to kind of encapsulate the show in like the highest quality collectible available. It shows profiles of all the characters, explains the show. Like if you were to pick one kind of cornerstone or like key of that collection and that like show, this box set would be it for me. So since I can't unfortunately afford to keep every single item, you know, every blue item, every Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy item, having these in my collection to represent them, I think is like the apex of being able to do that. So this one as well, and I think the signed is so unreal. So we have the Foster's Home one. So now in our collection we have the Class of 3000, we have the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Foster's Home, and the crew from Leaky Lake and Camp Kidney. We have Camp Lazlo. So many of you guys may know I do have this one in my collection already, but the box was really beat down. I actually bought it from Proxy before he sold me his collection, and it was an extra that he had. So this one right here was his in his collection, a much more minty version of that. And again, it has a little sign here. I love how personalized it is for the show. It has a sign in the back here that says, "Welcome to Camp Kidney," and the trio of Raj, Lazlo, and also Clam on there. And I've always thought that like there's a couple shows to me that kind of give me, you know, like I like certain character tropes a lot, and I think that's why Camp Lazlo, I told you guys I was keeping every Camp Lazlo or Foster's Home item. My 3 favorite shows from Cartoon Network besides regular show, be my number one, would be Foster's Camp Lazlo and then also the Misadventures of Flapjack. And I think the reason why for Camp Lazlo and the Misadventures of Flapjack is they both have this overly positive, imaginative, almost unfazable light within them that is just so fun to watch and see them kind of interact with other people that are characters that are more normal in personality to like actual people. And I think that Camp Lazlo gives me very much SpongeBob energy, and I think that their whole trio gives me like Ed, and Eddie energy kind of in some ways. It's like if SpongeBob was friends with Ed and Double D, because like Double D is very Raji, Clam is very Ed, and you also have a lot of actors in here that are from SpongeBob. Like for example, you have Scoutmaster Lumpus, that is Tom Kenny, and you also have Mr. Lawrence, who's in the show as well too. And these are the only figures for these characters that exist at all, and it's signed by Lazlo. So another one signed to the collection, and it comes with the only figures that exist for these characters, which is Lazlo, Raj has a McDonald's toy, but it's not his full body, Clam, Scoutmaster Lumpus, and his only physical product, and then also Slinkman here, which I love Slinkman so much. Like one of my favorite episodes in the world is when they do a kart race and Slinkman has like his dream to create his own kart and compete in the race and win ever since he was a kid. That episode is so sweet. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But it also has this amazing map here of Leaky Lake and all the different, you know, places around it, like Acorn Flats where the girls' camp was. You have Town of Prickly Pines where they would do like adventures out of the camp. You have Camp Kidney, you have Itchy Island, like all the different iconic locations in the show are featured here. So like I said, one item to kind of represent them all. This is it in my opinion. So I'm so glad we were able to add this one too. Like look at how beautiful all of these are stacking up to be. So we have 3 of them there. And then next up here, we have had probably the hardest one to find, and I have had literally several people message me asking if I had this one in any of these boxes to purchase it off of me. And I've had offers up to $600 for this box here, because I guess this one is really, really tough to find. And that is for My Gym Partner's a Monkey, which is a show that's theme song like actively once a month comes up in my head, or once a week if I'm being real, in my head for some reason. I still remember it. I don't know why I remember every single word, but I used to go to a human school where everybody was the same, but now I go to an animal school because lion's my last name. My gym partners. Monkey, monkey, monkey. My gym partners. Monkey, monkey, monkey. Bull shark, porcupine, I don't know what. Going to this school is a pain in the... Adam! What? I was gonna say next.
That's okay then.
My gym partners.
Monkey, monkey, monkey.
My gym partners.
Monkey, monkey, monkey.
My gym partner's a monkey.
Monkey, monkey, monkey.
My gym partner's a monkey.
There's honestly a little too many monkeys in the song, but you know, still very memorable. But this also has Tom Kenny in it as the voice of Jake the Monkey. And you get figures in here. Bull, which, oh my gosh, they went way too hard on the character of Bull. His sculpt is absolutely stunning. You guys will see some close-ups of it. You have this massive shark with his braces on, and like, look at the sculpt on this guy. He has the early facial hair that every school bully must have, because he's hitting puberty at a later date and he doesn't understand it. And he has to take out that aggression, that understood energy on you. My bully when I was in middle school, his name was Michael, and people literally thought he was a teacher. Sometimes I thought he was too, and he just really didn't like me. Screw you, Michael. Sorry, still haven't let that go yet. I'm assuming somewhere in the next 10 years I'll be able to just kind of release, you know. But there's also Adam Lion in there, Jake the Monkey, and then also the gorilla friend who I can't remember his name, but Windsor Gorilla. I love the character design on these so much, like to make the animals look kind of like teenagers. I love that Bull has the headphones that go on his gills with water, so that way he can continue breathing. Like just such a well-made show, and such a cool box set here to add to the collection with the school bus too, which is what takes Adam to the wrong school in the first place. Which, like, my goodness, his parents were so uninvolved in his life. Like, your kid is coming home covered in fur and has tiger scratches on his arm, and you're not gonna go to a, you know, some kind of student conference to try to figure this out for him? Not very good, Mr. and Mrs. Lion. So let's take a little break from the box sets, because we actually have another one or so in here to complete that collection. But I've been waiting for this item $5,000 later, or sorry, a couple weeks, a while. Okay, I bought this collection just for these next 2 items. Don't you sit there and judge me. You have stuff you should be doing, huh? And you ain't doing it right now. You're watching this. So how about you go look in the mirror before you judge me? Why don't you clean that mirror while you're at it? Sorry, I'm speaking the future me, not you. Unless it applies. And that is the regular show stuff in here. So this is the game Dig Champs! Dig Champs on console here. This is the fictional game of Dig Champs from a regular show, where you get to play as these muscle buff dudes who just dig. You always want to be the guy with the shovel. Nobody ever wants to be this sucky guy with the pickaxe. But now it's time for me to finally do it. Dig Champs. These might be the best graphics I've ever seen in my life. It looks just like the cover. Let's play it. Oh, that was amazing. I cannot wait for the DLC. Dig Champs Mega Evolutions Dimensions. Oh man, that's definitely gonna be worth the money. Probably not. You give me my money back, Nintendo! Sorry, I'm so personally scarred by that. But inside of here is actually, obviously, this is a fan-made item, but inside of here is a cassette here that says regular tunes. And it's filled with regular show music that will touch you. Because we all know that you can't touch music, but music can touch you. Literally the only track that's on this is Summertime Lovin'. From that episode. Yeah, loving in the summertime. Regular show is goated. Always gonna love that show. For the rest of my life, I'll probably be rewatching that show. But on top of that, we also have the original Rigby figure here. That was the Toys R Us exclusive. It comes with the ducks as well, too. Two of the ducks. I think Mordecai probably came with a third duck, but it says superposable. And as many of you guys know, you probably know that they made a full-blown episode about how bad these action figures were. But due to that little bit of lore, this box has more lore, I'm realizing, than like some TV shows. Like this series has lore. You know, if you've been watching it for a while, I'm like referencing episode 1 and 2. I mean, come on, get into the Comfort Cartoons, Cartoon Network box universe. But these figures can go upwards of like low end 60, some of them in the hundreds, $100, $200. Regular show merch in general is just super pricey. I have quite a collection, but I don't have a ton of the action figures. So this is my first one in box, still sealed, that I'm able to add here, and that is my favorite character, Rigbone. There we go. So we got Rigby right there, and then over here we have another poster. Actually, oh, this is a poster. So we also have, if you watch part 1 and part 2, at the end of both videos, I showed you guys 2 Cartoon Network bus posters that were available during the Cartoon Network summertime promotion in 2005. If you guys didn't see that, that's because you didn't watch till the end, in which case you deserve not seeing it. You can go back, you can watch it now, we'll forgive you. Personally, I won't. You should be watching till the end. Come on. Everything we've been through and you gotta click off early? Come on. Oh, but I'm busy. I'm so busy, Marshall. Well, we're all busy. Jim, John, Mary, Ann, Carrie, whatever your name might be, apply here. No, but seriously, I would appreciate it. But this is the Camp Lazlo promotional poster. Where's Lazlo? And for these, honestly, I have no clue. There was one like this as well for the special episode of My Gym Partner's a Monkey that we shared. This is a special, again, Where's Lazlo? But I don't know where these would have been placed or marketed. I think they might have just been like a thing that was within Cartoon Network Studio. They put up, you know, kind of to hype up the workers and just kind of like, you know, make it feel like a big deal as they're working on it. So that way that quality goes into that special. You saw the same thing at Nickelodeon Studios when they would be working on certain specials or movies. They would often have promotions and like employee only exclusive posters and stuff like that. That was kind of like prototypes of the posters that would be coming out in the offices, just to kind of keep people in that like high stakes blockbuster mind kind of thing. So that's where I think this came from. Beautiful piece. You guys will see a better shot of it on screen. We also have some really weird items here. Again, I told you I was keeping everything Foster's home, so that includes these kind of oddball items here, which is Eduardo, no scaredy baby, banana lip balm, Boo Berry, because that's never been done as a flavor ever in any cereal either, Boo Berry Blue, and then we got I Like Chocolate Milk, which is the cheese lip balm. So all 3 of the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends lip balms, I believe these were available at Hot Topic. So you have the whole set right there. It's about to get crazy when it comes to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Next up here we have, oh, the freaking Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends basketball hoop. Are you joking me with this thing? And you have cheese as the basketball? Come on. Like, this was too freaking tough, man. And this was sold publicly. It's got a barcode right there. And I mentioned in a video recently when I picked up a Nerf basketball hoop that I was like really good at basketball back in the day. I would be like, you know, doing slam dunks in my own in-house basketball court. That training and that honing of such a skill set within my living room, my bedroom door, actually sent me into the major leagues. Or is that what they call it? No, into the national basketball leagues. And I actually played for several professional teams. Right now, I'll pop up some photos of me doing fantastic dunks into the end zone on several players. And that's why they called me the MVP, Nickelodeon's most valuable player. I have posters. Go look for them. But, so I don't know why I'm standing like this. Like, I just like the, I guess like the freaking airflow I'm getting down here. So I'm like, got my leg just propped up. Just deal with my knee, okay? Look at that. Some people have to pay a subscription for that much knee. But the basketball hoop is amazing. I love it. Super rare item. Unbelievable. And this is one of my dream items. Literally, Proxy, when he showed me this, he told me, like, when we first met talking about Cartoon Network stuff, I told him about this item and that I've seen pictures of it online, but it's next to non-existent trying to find it. And it's one of my dream items for my personal collection, and that is the elusive Blue Regard troublemaking paddle ball RC car. So it is blue. Look at that beautiful freaking 2005 Cartoon Network logo. It is blue. Oh my god, what the frick? There's a kid on the back of this thing. He's as bald as blue. And that was a choice, you know what I mean? That his parents made him do that, and that's not right. But it has the paddle ball, and if you guys don't know why Blue has this paddle ball, then you need to watch more Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This is from the iconic episode where Blue does everything in his power to try to get this paddle ball and then ends up being terrible at using it. And then mad because Mac and everybody else was so much better at using the paddle ball. It also comes with a bonus DVD, which I assume would be a DVD of that episode, which if it's not, that would be such a missed opportunity. But how cool is that to get a toy and it come with the DVD of the episode that is referring to? Like, how magical is that experience? You know, like, you get a toy of anything normally and you have to, like, you know, kind of just make up everything as you go, which is good, but this one has like lore behind the toy, which is so fun. Like, even the SpongeBob episodic series toys that are some of my favorite in the world, they didn't come with a DVD. They actually did release a set of plushies that did come with DVDs, but like, that was, you know, that was something that was not super common, you know. So very cool that it has that. It's got all the fun things you can do with an RC car, like knock over cups, because parents love that. Control Blue Regard moves and sounds, and this thing, you know, as you might have guessed, a lot of Foster's Home stuff, it really didn't sell that great to kids. You saw more sales. Most of the collectibles you find will be stuff that was available at Hot Topic. It actually did better with a slightly older audience, teenagers and young adults. And they were the ones that picked up a lot of the merchandise at Hot Topic, Spencer's, places like this, and held on to it. So that's most of the time you see. So the toys, you really don't see that often. And I have a blue collection, which I have most blue figures that have ever come out, if not all of them or close to all of them. So this one being added is like a grail for me to add. And then we also have this one too, which I have this figure, but I did not have the box brand new sealed like this. And this is the Comic-Con SDCC. I don't know, I never know how many C's are in that damn thing. Glow in the dark, one out of 240, I think, at 240 that even exists. And this is a glow in the dark, and this blue glows like crazy. Like, I've had this thing. This was probably one of the first personal items from my collection I picked up when I was like 18, 19 years old. I didn't really know I was gonna be, you know, showing such levels of mental fracturing and like freaking mental illness and have such an insane collection. I just had like a shelf at some point. At some point I was a healthy person, and then you saw me tumble down a path that led here. But I opened it because I didn't think like I was gonna have this whole collection on, so I just wanted the bobblehead. I just put him on the shelf, and that thing glowed. How do you, I don't know how you say that. Gloated like nothing you'd ever seen before. It was like the sun's baby's baby. I know you're probably thinking, how does a baby have a baby? You don't know how celestial bodies breed. Babies of the moon can have babies. I really need help. But it glue amazing, and it still glows like that today. Like, it takes very minimal light for it to freaking glow like the sun, baby's baby. Now for more of the box sets. The last one, I think this means I have the entire collection of all the employee box sets, and that is for a show that probably was like the latest one to get one, because it always feels like the show's modern to me, but I know it's so old now, and that is Chowder. Something Tastes Fun, and it's got all four of the crew here of the kitchen. It's got Mung, Chowder, Truffles, and Schnitzel. I love it so much. Chowder has such a fun, unique, like, that was the thing about cartoons back then. They would always push so many boundaries and do things that you just never expected. I'll never forget when the show ran out of money, and they had to start a fundraiser, like a car wash, the voice actors, in order to pay for the show to get fixed. and like it completely broke the fourth wall, and you can see the voice actors washing cars. Like, it was amazing. And so many stylized choices of this show that I think you can see inspiration of in other shows nowadays. And it actually treats it almost like a food product. So it has the nutritional facts here on the back as well too. You can see on this side. The box on this one's a little bit more plain compared to some of the other ones, but still very cool. Let's see if we open it up. Maybe there's some details on the inside. Yeah, this one, like I said, maybe because it was like one of the last ones to get one probably. Like, this one has no details like on the inside here, like the other ones do have like breakdowns and the map and stuff like that. You pretty much just have the figures right there. Unfortunately, there is a crack on this piece of glass here where Truffles is. Part of me is like debating, do I leave it cracked or should I just take my heat gun and like remove this single window so at least it just looks clean, you know? I might even be able to find a replacement piece of plastic. I think I might just repair that, to be honest, now that I think about it. I might find a replacement window of some kind. It might be less scratched than the other ones, but at least it'll look really, really cool and like not have that shatter in it. Oh, but I did notice in the back though, you can actually see it's like a school lunch tray. It says Mongdal's Catering Service, and it actually has like a lunch tray with the individual like pouches too for the food. That is really cute. So that is the last box set. So I think these with my Class of 3000 one is all of them. So I think I have all of the complete figure sets that were released for the employees, which is like a grail of grails if you're talking about figure collectors in Cartoon Network. But we are not done yet. Speaking of figures, we also have these, which is a really cool variety pack, and this is the Cartoon Network backpack clip. So it comes with all of these characters here from different eras of Cartoon Network. Like, freaking, how many of you guys know who this is? This freaking baboon here. And you see these on the back, these little red specks? Those are his butt cheeks. His butt cheeks are glowing red. I think it's Jack's fault. He was clapping them cheeks. Look at him. He didn't have a sword, but he's clapping, like he's smacking. He's the reason for these red cheeks. But this is not just the bag clips. Like, just these individual bag clips can sell from anywhere from $30 to $60. If they're the Ed, Edd n Eddy ones, the specifics are really high. This is the display that would have been above the coin machine for you to actually find out which one you're getting. So you get the whole set there in the display, which is beautiful. And again, as with every episode of this, some of these items, they're so uncommon, so rare that like we will probably not be able to find exact comp sold to match the prices, and we'll be going off of my experience as a collector and somebody who's been collecting this stuff for, you know, over 10 years. Next up, you guys saw this one. I told you guys that there was two in the packaging, and that is Robot Boy. So this is the much more mint shaped Robot Boy here. I think in that video we had valued him at about 50 bucks. I think we sold the other one already for like $100, so double what I had priced it as in the video. But I always give you guys the lowest end pricing in my mind, so it was a very confident number. But this one I am keeping. Robot Boy is just one of those shows that I think this might be the only thing that exists for Robot Boy outside maybe like a DVD, if that. So I wanted to be able to have one in my collection, so we're keeping him. Next up, this is a Teen Titans poster. It is still sealed, so there's no really way to like look at it, unfortunately. It's got some duct tape protecting it, but I will be hanging this up at some point, so I want to keep this in the collection. And also, posters are one of those things that they're really hard to sell because people don't really know how rare they actually are. So if I put this in a frame, you know, it looks clean, and post it like that, probably could sell this for like $150, $200, a vintage Teen Titans poster. But if I just put it like on the floor with like some tacks, you know, holding it down, you know, somebody would pay like maybe 20, 30 bucks at the most for it. So it's about how you display it, because people don't really always realize how uncommon it is to find good condition vintage posters. All right, so now we are finishing it up with two grails. I have these two saved for last because they are so tough to find. This right here is an item I am like debating on. These last two items, this one is because I love Chowder, but I do need to cover my butt some, you know. Not my knee though. Cover my butt some with some of the funding. So I am debating. You guys tell me, should I keep it or should I sell it? This is a very rare collectible item for Chowder. This is the employee only Chowder cookie jar. And if you are a collector of cartoon memorabilia, you look at Cartoon Network stuff often, you have likely seen these up for sale in the past. People are usually asking around prices between $500 to $800. That is not, you know, abnormal to see it in that range and sell close to that. So it would be a very nice value back to the collection, but it's also so freaking cool. Like, I honestly wish it was like a $50 item because I would just put this in my kitchen, but being as rare as it is, it probably would just kind of stay in its box here or like have to go in some kind of glass cabinet. But how adorable is this? This is a Chowder cookie jar, and I think again Chowder had no products at all. They have some now which are like plushies, some like hats you can buy, but this is vintage from when the show was actually out, and it is a full 3D sculpt porcelain of Chowder, and again is a cookie jar, but I mean you really can't even tell it's a cookie jar once you put that lid back on. So absolutely stunning, and like I said, it is mint condition, not a scratch or a crack or anything on it. So I'm like, ugh, do I keep this one because I just really like it, or do I sell it so that way I can kind of, you know, justify everything else that we're keeping? Okay, now for the last item. So many of you guys are like, oh, you should keep the K&D stuff, you should keep some of the Codename Kids Next Door figures, and I want to, but again, I knew that those were where a lot of the value lied. K&D stuff is really expensive. We've already sold some of those figures and made more than half of the money back just on that. So I knew that I had to be willing to let go of those in order to keep everything that you see me keeping right now. But I knew that I wanted to keep at least one Codename Kids Next Door item. Again, kind of like the box sets, to embody, you guys a little peek down here, embody the entire show in some way. Like, what item could I keep to kind of just represent everything? If I keep number 4, yeah, he's my favorite character, but you don't get the nostalgia of the other characters. Like, oh, okay, well, if I keep the set with all of them in it, well, then you don't get the world and like the weapons they had and like the villains even. What item could I keep? And then as we were going through the boxes, I stumbled upon this. This is the Codename Kids Next Door Colossal Liner. This is the K&D hanger ship that they were often working out of, and it comes with figures of all the characters. It comes with all Nigel, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the only box set, the only product that comes with the big bad himself, the Voldemort, the Vecna of the K&D world, Father, which was one of the most sinister, badass villains in Cartoon Network history. So this is the only item that came with Father. So in this box, Father is in there. Of course, Father being the father of the delightful kids from down the lane. They were supposed to get a product, but it never happened. As well as Father, he was supposed to get his own 6-inch box figure, like you guys saw me in the previous, or I think episode number 1 of this series. But again, never ended up happening just because the series never got that Wave 2 to come out. So this was the only item that Father actually ever got to appear in. So I wanted to keep it because he's the biggest villain of them all. It comes with this vehicle here, it comes with this jet, it comes with these jet skis, it comes with this rocket, and then of course the liner itself, which is just kind of a representation of that whole overall world I was talking about with their, like, you know, kid created items, often taking things that we had as a child, you know, soda bottles, bubble gum, planks of wood, and like springs, you know, stuff that like kids could find, and hacking them together to make some kind of cool weapon. And that's something that stuck with me even into my adult life. So I wanted to have something that kind of had that inspiration into it as well, and not just the characters, and we got that with this. And this also comes with number 3 holding a rainbow monkey, which is the only physical rainbow monkey product besides like some monkey like link chain monkeys that you can get from Wendy's. So she's holding the rainbow monkey. This in my mind was the product to kind of dominate all of the K&D products, so this is why this is the one I'm keeping. Although this one probably here I could easily see, given some time, selling for over $1,000. The ship itself sells for a couple hundred if you have everything with it, and this one's brand new sealed, has all the figures, everything ready to go. There's probably very few if any other sealed ones out there, so pricing it like $1,000, probably could get that, maybe take an offer somewhere around $700, $800. I think that's a very reasonable price and likely could happen, but that's why I was willing to accept letting go of all the other K&D characters so I could keep this one. So there's always a method to the madness. You guys let me know if I made the right choice. I think I did, and I'm really proud of it. But that is everything that I am keeping from this collection so far. We do have one more poster that I'll be sharing with you guys here towards the end if you stick around. But on that note, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new here. I know I talked a lot in this video, and I know some like there's like a 10% of the audience that just wants me to hurry up and show things, you know, and get the, but that's not what I'm here for. For me, I'm here to talk and show my passion and my energy for these things and talk to the people that care. And this gives me a venue to be able to be passionate and talk to other like-minded people about these things I love. So thank you so much for hearing me out. I know sometimes I can kind of blah, 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 but I just love talking, and most importantly, I love talking to you. So thank you so much for hearing me out in all my videos. I appreciate you guys so much. Ryan does his darndest to try to keep it down a little bit, but sometimes I still don't leave a lot of room otherwise. So I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to support the show further, the greatest way to do that is by becoming a member of our YouTube channel through the community tab here. Hit the join button down below, or you can also join our Patreon and you can get extended versions of every video that I upload, early release, ad-free. And the greatest perk of all of that, for both of those, Patreon and YouTube, is you get to support this show and keep us making more videos for years and years to come and make things like this possible. So thank you so much to our already existing Patreon and YouTube members. You know who you are, and thank you from the bottom of my heart personally. You make a difference in my life and in this community. Thank you for being who you are and for your time and your patronage here in that way. If you guys are interested in picking up some of the stuff, we have been auctioning a ton of the Cartoon Network stuff from part 1 and 2 on our Whatnot stream for crazy good deals. Some we've had to sell in our shop at a premium, of course, but I've tried to pass on some of those deals on some of the other items on my stream. So if you guys haven't already, go take a look at Whatnot. We're doing giveaways. We do auctions of all the stuff you see me pick up in these videos, and you can help support the show that way too. When you sign up, you get $15 for free just for signing up. So that could get you an item or two for free sometimes with 15 bucks. So that link is down below. But before we go anywhere, you know the drill. Scan it. Alright, and on that note, thank you so much for watching again. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys in this video over here. Whatnot, Patreon, YouTube, all that stuff's down there. And as always, beautiful people, I'll see you in the next one. Adios and blue!